Hi. The book I read was Boots on the Ground: America's War in Vietnam by Elizabeth Partridge, excuse me. And the book follows a lot of smaller storylines of different people throughout the war. It's really good at depicting the different perspectives of people, from a few presidents like JFK, who had to make the hard decisions about what he would do with the troops that he sent over, to soldiers and how they interacted with each other and the Vietnamese that were actually over there. And then also how they interacted with some of the more racial problems that they had to deal with. And it also tells stories of different nurses, which I'm going to read a passage from one of their recounts of the war in a little bit. Um, but it does a really good job of showing a lot of different sides, that kids kind of think that stories could be one-sided maybe, and it kind of shows it works around that, and it does a good job of that. With all these little stories though, there's not much of a specific plot line outside the overall war. So if you're looking to work on story elements with your kids or your students, it might not be the best book for that. But let me go ahead and read that nurse's entry that I mentioned before. So it's got a lot of good pictures like this that I'll show after. But on her first day in triage at an Army hospital in Vietnam, Lily Lee Adams was told to stay out of the way, watch, and learn. Around her, doctors, nurses, and medics sprang into gear, hanging IV bottles on poles and throwing extra tourniquets around their shoulders. The door flew open and two men rushed in, with a stretcher between them, set it down on two waiting sawhorses, then hurried back out. Someone cut off the patient's muddy, bloody uniform, and Adams saw his legs had been blown off at the thighs. A doctor started an IV while a nurse tried to question the infantryman for his name, rank, and serial number. Adams was horrified. "I froze," she said. The guy had been blown up, basically. So it does deal with some more mature content like that, but it does a really good job of translating that content into something that fourth and fifth graders could understand. And it also has a lot of great pictures. There's no illustrations, but there's a lot of pictures, that are appropriate while still depicting the actual hardships that different people went over. Most pages have some sort of picture, whether it's a full page or like little ones like this. But I really enjoyed it, and I feel like fourth and fifth graders would have a good time reading it, especially if they're interested in this kind of stuff. But I definitely believe it belongs in a classroom. So thank you very much.